Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great show for you today. I admit it is a bit hard-hitting, but I assume you've come to expect that out of me. I've entitled it, Stop Turning Your Troubles into Your Excuses. It's a good one. I hope you'll stay tuned. I'll be right back after the break. Well, believe it or not, in a few weeks, it will almost be time for you to consider writing down those crazy New Year's resolutions. And while I'm not entirely opposed to New Year's resolutions, I gotta say I just don't take them seriously anymore because I really don't know anyone who sticks with them. So I have to admit I find the whole exercise to be a perfect waste of valuable time. And frankly, probably the number one reason I'm a skeptic and a doubter, because in the midst of all that self-examination and belly button gazing, it seems to always be the same old story. People pulling out their past troubles and transferring them into their present day excuses. And then nothing changes, yet again, year after year. Okay, so here's the funny part. Well, not ha-ha funny, but you know what I mean. See, what I get excited about is that there is a moment, a split second in time when you, a clear-headed and thinking person, awaken to the bright idea of possibilities, and that you can unload your past troubles and put your life in the right direction to move into the path of your dreams. But then the reality of your purposeless, sad sack life kicks in. And you allow your fear and worry and low expectations of yourself to bubble up to the top. Once again, my friend, some of you lose the vision of your once bright moment of hope and settle back into the routine of moping around and feigning commitment to a New Year's resolution that will never happen because once again, you brought your baggage with you. Kind of hard to let go if you keep packing it up and carrying around with you everywhere you go and every year you live. Goodness gracious, aren't you tired of hauling your past around? So before you go find a pen and paper to write out what you most likely will not do next year after a second or third week in January, let's take a minute and figure out why you're still dragging the old into the new. And if you're truthful, maybe, just maybe, we can redirect you to a new path of possibilities, the year you always hoped for, so you can have the best year of your life. Now, I know for many, the old ideas and hopes and dreams are a great stand-in for doing nothing again this year. But I gotta wonder, when will you make a change for the better? Hey, what will it take? When will you finally stop your belly aching and do the thing you promised yourself that you would do? See, what I'm curious about is the concept of time. I've been very clear on my radio shows and on the podcast. Friend, time is not on your side. You've got to get going if you plan on living big or at least having a better life. And one of the most important things I can stress to you is, in that moment, when you have the chance to choose to go forward or to look back, you've got no one to blame but yourself if you make the wrong choice of looking back again. So, when will you learn? What will it take? What has such a grip on you that you've let it damage your once promising life? For the record, let me remind you that it doesn't matter what your parents say or your friends or even your spouse. If you choose to drag your past troubles into your present opportunities and then make them your excuses, you will abandon your options for a big life. because the old and the new cannot exist together when it comes to being who you were born to be and doing what you're called to do. I mean, the fact is there just isn't enough room for the old and the new to live together in your house. So you've got to choose, and I want you to choose wisely. I love the quote from Edna Ferber, who said, "Living in the past is a dull and lonely business. Looking back strains the neck muscles, causing you to bump into people not going your way." Wow, that's a good one. Not only will you run into people not going your way, but those very same people will pull you off track because they want you to live like them in a sad, lonely, pathetic loser life. And in the confusion on the road to success, you're probably going to lose your way to a better, bigger, brighter life if you're not careful. Remember, don't look back. You're not going that way. Yes, I know it seems like once again Deb is sounding the alarm. And yes, I am, because you can't have a positive mindset to go forward if your brain is filled with all the negative reasons why you can't do what you're called to do. I have to admit, I do feel an urgency to be forceful with you today and, every week, because as I look at the calendar, my time with you, on my radio show, it came to an end. Now, of course, I still have the blog and the podcast, but after so many years of having a radio show that made me do bigger and better things, it also helped me grow my reach on social media to a much larger audience. See, I came to a point where I decided I don't need to stay small when I am firmly convinced that I, as well as you, should live big. Here's the fact. Time is not going to wait for you to get your act together. What will happen is that someone else who is ready, willing, and able will jump in and take your place and leave you on the sidelines, watching instead of playing to win if you don't lose your past and live fully in the present. It seems that time flies by, and next thing you know, another year has passed and you're still the same, no better, and maybe even a little worse for the wear. You're still in the same dead-end job you hate. You're still in the same going nowhere relationship with someone you're not even convinced if they ask you to marry him, you actually would. Or would you even want to live with this person the rest of your life? You're still mad at your parents, your spouse, your boss, and yourself. And you're still complaining about the same things you did last year. Hey, newsflash, no wonder you're not getting ahead. Now listen, no doubt we all have friends who we'll see at some holiday event this year, and they will tell us the same thing they told us last year, and the year before, and the year before. And it's obvious there has been no growth in their life. And if you're like me, you can repeat their stories back to them about their high-class upbringing, but yet they have no manners. They'll tell you the same story about going to the gym and how they're going to go do yoga and get fit, and they chatter about cool vacations, and yet they go nowhere and do nothing except post on Facebook about their make-believe life. Come on, you and I have heard these stories 1,000 times. Hey friend, if I have described you or you know someone like this, the good news is there is hope. Hope to change, to grow, to build, and to be. See, what I don't want is for you to continually struggle with your past mistakes, your past failures, your past's break in life. Because if you're not careful, you will bring your past into your present, and it will feel like Groundhog Day every day of your life. And you deserve better than that. Don't you? Okay, the answer is yes. I'll just answer for you. Some of you may say, hey, Deb, how do I live in such a way that doesn't drag my past troubles into my present life? Great question. First and probably most important, you've got to take a hard look at where you are right now. And if you're still in the same place you were last year, hear me, with all the love in my heart, you're stuck. And you need to make a plan to get unstuck and get going. So how do you do that? All right, couple things. First, you've got to be honest with yourself. There is no more time for make-believe. The time is now for you to make the changes you need to make in your life. You know what those changes are, and if you're struggling, then please be courageous enough to find a licensed counselor to help you. Not a friend, not your pastor, but someone who has lived life and is successful and has a heart for others and knows how to help you chart a path for success. The next thing is I think you're going to have to learn to be bold. You need to find the courage to change things that should be changed and accept that there are some things you may not be able to change. And in those situations, you need to step up and make a hard decision to do the right thing. And fortunately, it will take boldness to break you out of your rut. I also think you need to control your negative thoughts. If there's one thing in life you can control, my friend, it is how you think. How you think about yourself, others, the situation, all about you. You must fill your mind with positive thoughts, sayings, and affirmations that will sustain you when you begin to sink back into your old habits. I also think you need to use your energy wisely because spending your energy complaining, worrying, being impatient is a waste of time. And when you're sinking or you feel like you're about to fall off the edge, I encourage you to get outside, go to the gym, walk it out, lift weights, push yourself. It's amazing what will happen to your mind when you push your body. Using energy will clear your mind and will force the toxins out of your sluggish body. Exercise is more than physical. I think it's mental because of the discipline that it will add to your life. Hey, there's no downfall to getting healthy. Remember to start slow and build. It takes time. You won't get fit overnight. You didn't get fat overnight. But over time, you'll be better. It's hard. Hey, you can do it. One of the most important things you need to do, my friend, is stop turning your past troubles into your present excuses and to be thankful for what you are now, for what you have, and knowing what you will be. One of my favorite writers, James Thurber, said, I deal with the present because that is where we live. Let us not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around in awareness. And finally, dear listener, keep moving forward. Football great Don Shula said, the start is what stops most people. Our friend, don't let that be you. Every day of your life, move forward. Even if it's a few tiny steps, at least you're headed in the right direction. All right. Yep, I got it. Tough love today. But here's why. I want to push you to your greatness because I believe that's what true love and encouragement does. When you have a friend who is willing to step out and be honest with you about your troubles and your excuses, I think that is a valuable friend for you to live your best life ever. And even if it's a friend on the radio or here on a podcast, I'm still going to encourage you to build and to live into your amazing life. And friend, I hope you'll join me next week so we can continue this journey of success together as we work towards a better day. And just remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you, and I care about you because I'm tired of your excuses. I'm tired of your excuses that are stopping your amazing life. And here's what I promise. Friend, I will walk alongside you as we follow your dream together without turning your past troubles into your excuses and turning your future to the bright light of day. All right, take care, everybody. Join me next week. Thanks for listening.